So it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just woke up because I just saw a message saying our production server is not working, so it has crashed. So it has to be fixed in the next 1 hour because customers will start using it and it will be a big disaster. Oh my god, so this is a bad thing about software engineering life, wherein if something happens at the mid of the night, you have to get up and kind of solve it. Hello guys, this is Anamik and welcome back to my channel. So I am right now in my home, so please excuse the background. I know it's kind of messy, but please ignore that. I could not find a better place. I just finished my office and I'm recording the video after that, so it's pretty late at night and I could not go to any other room because everybody is sleeping, right? So this is the only room I found and this is where I work, so yeah. Anyways, so if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe to the channel. And a lot of people have asked me some questions in the previous videos. So one of the most popular questions was how to become a full stack developer. So this video is dedicated to that, and I'm going to talk about how to become a full stack developer in 2021. So first of all, in order to understand full stack, we need to understand what is this full stack means, right? So first of all, let's talk about stacks. So what is stacks, right? So stack is nothing but like if you put one object on top of other, right? And you keep on building that kind of a huge structure, that's called a stack. So I have a lot of books over here. So if I, take the example of this, so this is a stack of very old books, right? So similarly, what about technology, right? So a technology is just not built on any one programming language, right? So there is a front end, which is basically what you and I see whenever we interact with an application, like a mobile application or web application, right? So that's a front end. Then there's a middle layer, or which we call as the middleware, which could be any backend programming languages, which we predominantly call, right? Like Java, Python, or these kind of stuff, .NET. And then there is the database, right? Where all your data is stored. So if you look at it, this is also forming a stack, front-end stack, back-end stack, and a database stack, right? So this is what is meant by full stack. So whenever somebody says that are you a full stack developer, if you are saying yes, then they expect you to know the front end, the back end, which is also called as the middleware, and the database. These days it has gone even further, wherein once the application is developed, you're also expected to deploy the application into the server. So people might or might not, but yeah, chances are high that people might expect you to know about the server side things also, like deploying applications to a cloud provider, how to set up instances, and all of these things. But that is a topic of another day. We will focus on full stack software development, right? So now that you understand what is a full stack, let us break it down. So first, let's talk about the front end. So in front end, what are the languages available, right? So by default, you're expected to know HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So if you are a front end developer, you have to know these things by default, right? Apart from that, these days, there are some frameworks that are in the market and it's taking a huge hit. Angular, React, Vue.js, these are the top three. And apart from that, a lot of other things are also coming up like Next.js and all of these things. I'm not that much into front end. I personally work on Angular. I don't know much about anything else. So Angular, React are the top choices, and based on your liking or dislikes, whatever, you can get started with any one of the frameworks, right? React is a more popular choice among those who are starting out and also people who are just focusing on front-end development, right? Next comes the backend, or commonly also called as middleware. So middleware backend is more or less the same thing. I'm not going into details about that, but yeah. So in the backend, we'll call backend for understanding purpose. In the backend programming languages, there are a lot of options out there, right? So one of the most commonly ones are Python, Java, Node.js, .NET. Anything else? Ruby. Yeah, I think pretty much that. Again, apart from that, there are a lot of other languages, but yeah, these are most of the common languages. These days, a lot of hype is there about Node.js and Python, but people like me who come from, who have started their career way back, uh, I have been, working on Java for quite some time, so I prefer Java. And these days also, I have started preferring Python. I'm not that much of a JS guy. I'm not a JavaScript guy. I'm more of a Java person. So yeah, my choice of choice of language has been Java for quite some time, and I'm quite comfortable with it. I'm able to develop applications faster with Java, and these days also I started using Python, and that is another cool language. But its choice is yours. You can choose any one of the languages. It does not matter. Language is not that important in the early stages of your career. Java, Python, Node.js. I would prefer that if you are going into backend, stick with any one of these three languages, right? Chances are very high that in industry, these are the three languages that are used most of the times, along with .NET. But .NET is a paid product, so you can skip that for now. Right. Next comes the database, right? So database, there are two types of databases: SQL databases and NoSQL databases. For starters, there is no hard choice, but I would suggest that it is better that you stick with an RDBMS database, which is like MySQL, PostgreSQL, right? These are some of the two of the most commonly used and popular, database providers. Apart from that, there's Oracle, and in NoSQL you have MongoDB, right? And loads of other like Elasticsearch and all. But if you can understand the very core concepts of an RDBMS, it is very, very easy to switch over to any NoSQL language also. So that covers, right, the front end, back end, and the database, right? So if you are someone who is just starting out, first of all, learn any one programming language. If you are a fresher, I would suggest Python would be a good choice to learn, because Java is a bit more complex, and if you want to build real applications with Java, you have to spend a lot more time on that. But again, as the application goes bigger, Java is a preferred choice. So, but anyways, if you're starting out, I would say that getting off with Python or Node.js is absolutely fine. And then once you have go okay with the backend programming language, switch over to the front end, that is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then pick up another framework like React or Angular, right? So choice is yours. I am very sure React will be easy for any fresher to get started with. If you learn any one of the frameworks, switching over to the other is, I will not say extremely simple, but yeah, you get a fair idea of it, and it will be comparatively simple, right? And the backend also, once you're kind of comfortable with any of the programming languages, choose a corresponding framework. For Python, I personally use Flask. You could use Django also. Again, both of them are pretty good. And if you're coming from the Java world, right, the Spring Boot is in demand these days, and I also use Spring Boot in my projects and products that I build personally using Java. That's an absolutely amazing tool out there. In databases, MySQL, PostgreSQL, both are quite good. I personally prefer MySQL, but the choice is yours. You can use any one of the languages, right? So once you've learned this, like again, a common problem people face or see is that they go to these websites, the coding websites, HackerRank or whatever, these CodeChef, Lead Code, and that is good for understanding the basics of programming or preparing for data structure algorithm interviews, right? But if you have to build real applications, I would suggest pick a problem which you see in the world around you, or something which is already solved. It doesn't matter. You just have to build the same thing. Say you can go ahead and build a clone of any popular website like Oyo Rooms, or say Amazon, or say Flipkart, right? So any one of them is absolutely a good choice. So start with like designing the database, build the backend, and then you can move to the front end, or vice versa, whichever is more preferable to you. So build one project, no matter what the project is. Don't build a simple project like to-do list and some calculator. Not that impressive these days. Used to work out maybe 7-8 years back. These days, these are where the code is readily available in internet, and anyone can download it and start building those things. So choose a project which is there in real world, like I told you some examples, and build a clone of that application. Maybe just ditto copy every feature that is out there. Even if you do that, you will learn so much things that nothing else will matter, and you will jumpstart your career with that. And then if you're somebody who's just starting out, you can show this project, host it in AWS or host it in GitHub or any free, lot of free providers are there hosted, and use this project to apply for internships. I'll cover how to get an internship in one of my next videos. And till then, if you have any other questions, please feel free to comment down below and let me know what else you want me to cover on the upcoming videos. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on Instagram. I'm available in both the platforms, and you can reach out to me for any help. Thank you. Signing off. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel right now. Like the video and share this with anybody who's looking for some knowledge on full stack development in 2021. Thank you.